Has Judgment Day ran its course? Well, I believe so, and here's why. In the beginning, Edge got this together so that these stars could become superstars. So did that happen? Case in point, right here on my shirt, Rhea Ripley. That's it. Has Judgment Day ran its course? Well, I believe so, and here's why. In the beginning, Edge got this together so that these stars could become superstars. So did that happen? Case in point, right here on my shirt, Rhea Ripley. That's exactly what happened. They had success. They brought these people up. Damian Priest, he has a great run in SmackDown right now. You have Dominic Mysterio, who literally is embodying Judgment Day, and I feel like he could even go to the next level if he's not in this group. Then you have Liv Morgan, who doesn't need to be there. She proved herself. She's just the girlfriend of Dom. You don't need to be in a faction for that. So why am I so gung-ho about this? Well, here you go. It's the story. Every week it's the same thing. They're in the back, they're hanging out, eating chicken nuggets, hanging out playing video games, arguing, complaining, getting jealous of each other, who has the belt, when they have the belt, how they get the belt. It's the same story every time. And for me personally, it's getting boring. And I feel like it's going to cripple certain people. You have Raquel, who really is a side character. She's going to be anywhere where she's number 2, to be honest with you. JD McDonough, same thing. I could see him in a tag team. So it's not to knock these guys, it's just where they're at. So what are we doing? This is the story writing. This is how it goes. I have my own gripes with that. But is there going to be an issue here where people start to not like them anymore? And I feel like that's going to happen. They're going to get boring. Like I said in my previous video with Gunther, it's the same thing. Either you got to re-amplify these people, rebrand them, but I don't feel like it's going to go well. And then you have Roxanne Perez trying to get in the group. And I don't even feel like that should be the right move. But that's me. That's how I feel.
Okay, I had to cut it short. But, yeah. So, the Judgment Day. Well, like I said, I've been saying this over and over again. In order for the Judgment Day to split, you have to separate Liv and Dom, and you have to separate Finn and JD, and you have to separate Liv and Raquel, and you have to give Dom something new besides him being in a relationship with another woman. But because Roxanne is included, I still think that Dom and Roxanne might get together, but not right away. I do think they're going to take their time with it. I recommend they take their time with it because you got to let the crowd get drawn in with those two. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, the Liv and Dom fans are hyping it, spamming it, literally saying they want Liv and Dom to stay together. But it's crazy how you listen to Triple H and he said the internet is not real. And it could relate to this because it's amazing how on the internet people screaming, Liv and Dom, Liv and Dom, Liv and Dom. But outside of that, people don't feel that way. You don't see nobody wearing their shirts. You don't see nobody putting up signs that say Liv and Dom. The only time you ever see somebody wearing a Liv and Dirty shirt is on the internet, right? You'll see a selfie, somebody trying to get a shout out from Liv and Dom. And it's just like, that's the only time you see people wearing the shirt. Other than that, the only time you ever see people go out the house with the shirt on is when they're, getting booked to sit down and get a seat to, hopefully get aired while they, somebody's doing a segment or a match, whether it's Monday Night Raw, whether it's SmackDown or a pay-per-view from WWE. That's the only time you see it. Other than that, you don't see nobody hyping it up because nobody's talking about it, because nobody care about it. If people cared about it, people would talk about it outside of work, even during work. But other than that, you don't see nobody wearing a Liv and Dom shirt. You don't see nobody wearing like any Liv and Dirty shirt. The only time you see that was back then. But now nobody's wearing it. And right, even last night at Friday Night SmackDown, you don't see nobody wearing it. You know what I'm saying? You see everybody else, but not Liv and Dom. And the reason why is because nobody care about it. Now, but my fear is this. My fear is that when they do split, that people are going to be so misunderstood with the storyline to the point where they're going to want it back. And it's just like, okay, so we're going to just forget about the key situation. We're just going to forget about the parking lot situation. We're just going to forget all of that. We're just going to forget the fact that this is all about Finn and Liv Morgan. That this is not about Dom. This is not about Raquel. This is not about the group. This is not about JD. This is not about Carlito. This is not about Roxanne. This is about those two and their disagreements. And that's the reason why jealousy and ego is the reason why those two are beefing. Because this is not about Dom, bro. This is about Liv and Finn not seeing eye to eye. And it's mainly because Finn forgot that this is about the group, and Liv is about to start forgetting that this is about the group. And honestly, I feel like she already has forgot because she's so focused on Gold and Dom that she's not even thinking about her partner. You saw it with the segment. She didn't mention Raquel one time, and she come in looking for beef? What? But I understand why she's doing it, because people want to see the Bellas versus Liv and Raquel at Evolution. And that's the reason why people are not tripping about it, because they want to see that. But the way they set it up was just like, okay, so you have Liv Morgan get mad at Nikki for not mentioning her name? Yeah, I don't understand that. But again, I do think that if you want the group to split, you're going to have to cause a divide. And right now, with Liv and Finn's ego in the way, it's caused a division. All right. We already lost Carlito. Ain't no telling when he's coming back. And honestly, I don't think he's ever coming back because there's no hype for him the way it is for R-Truth. So we just hope that the lack of support that Carlito is getting is what we hope for Liv and Dom, is that we hope that people don't hype it up to the point where that Triple H get backlash, because that backlash is going to probably make him reverse it the same way he did with Becky and Lyra winning the belts at WrestleMania, where people call it Becky Hogan. But I don't see the backlash of a fake couple that people do not care about in real life. Nobody cares about these two in real life. But on the internet, people are literally obsessed with them. It's the reason why Hot Ones got over 1 million views, because because people, these bots are like, I'm not going to say people, these bots are training to keep them relevant. But taking them sneaker shopping is not going to keep them relevant. It's just going to get people to look at this like, this is stupid. Dom should not be spending money on a thought. He should be spending money on his wife. And Liv should not be taking Dom to sneaker shopping when she should take her best friend, Raquel Rendez, sneaker shopping. But because of the marketing, it's the reason why they didn't do that. And honestly, I think it's lame, because why can't Dom go by himself? Why can't Liv go by herself one more time? You know what I'm saying? I mean, Liv Morgan got 1.6 million for the last time she came, and that was back when she was WWE Women's Champion. And she got like 1.6 million. So what's going to happen with Liv and Dom? Are they going to get 1.6 million? Maybe over time, but they're not going to get it right away. Like, it's still under. So it's like, only thing I could just hope for is that I could just hope that those two can make it on their own without having to depend on each other. You get what I'm saying? And the only way they can do that is if they can show these Liv and Dom fans the reality. And the reality of it is, this is not about love. This is about money. This is about business. Okay? Everything you're seeing right now with the Judgment Day, Liv Morgan is with Dom because of money. Dom is only with Liv Morgan because of business. Right? Because if Dom really wanted to, he could separate himself from Liv. It's just because of the marketing is the reason why he's staying. And the only reason why Liv Morgan is staying is because in order for her to make money, she has to be this side chick for Dom. And the reason why I call her a side chick is because we know for sure that Liv is not the girlfriend for Dom. She's just a partner. You know what I mean? She's just a partner. You saw it with Money in the Bank. All right? Shawty looked like a jobber when she was with him. She just looked like a side chick. She just looked like she was on the sidelines, just like Raquel. Raquel is only with Liv just to be on the sidelines. Nobody noticed her. Nobody gives her pop. And just like with Money in the Bank, when Liv Morgan came out with Dom, nobody gave her any reaction. It was all about Dom, and Dom got some of the reaction. And you saw it when people was wearing his shirt, and when they were sitting down, and you saw it right in front of the camera. Everybody was wearing his shirt. They was not wearing, well, not everybody, but mostly the men. The man was wearing his shirt, and Liv Morgan was just there. Like, nobody even cared that she was there. If Dom came out by himself, I think the people will look at him more than they will look at, whoever he was with. But the good thing was they were focusing on him and not focusing on them. You get what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. In real life, nobody cares about the couple because they know it's fake. They know that Liv is only with him for the gold. They know that Dom is going to probably cheat on her anytime soon, which I don't know about that. I don't think soon it will be the right word for it. I'll say moments over time before the year ends. I'll say it like that. Because it's going to take time for Dom to get with Roxanne. It's going to take a while because, like, my plan for them is that Dom takes his time with Roxanne, right? And he talks to Roxanne, because he is older than her. So he could spit some game to her and try to get her to turn face. And that's why I say, if Dom can get Roxanne to turn face and betray Finn, he could betray Liv Morgan, and those two can do some things with each other. Because you got to remember, if he get with Roxanne, there's nothing to worry about, because in terms of he's married, she's in a committed relationship with Drake. So obviously it's going to be a minute for those two to get together because they got to be on the same page, right? Dom is literally trying to get over Liv Morgan, but the only way he can get over her is if she starts showing him signs of why that he needs to separate himself from her, because she's starting to be more intimidating. She's starting to be more angry. She's starting to be more vicious, and she's starting to show more ego. And that's why I wish next week he would confront Liv Morgan about going after Nikki Bella, but I don't know. We won't know until next Monday. But however, as for Raquel goes, the only way Raquel can keep her job is if Liv Morgan put her over by, I don't see Liv Morgan betraying Raquel, but she can give her signs of why Raquel should leave her. You know what I mean? So, turn her back on her. But it will be a reason. And the reason why is because she's starting to be self-centered. She's starting to be more starting to be more self-righteous. She's starting to become more egotistic, more emotional, and that's where Raquel is going to separate herself from her and get away and get around from her just to get to where she need to go. But Liv Morgan won't tolerate that, and what's going to happen is that Liv Morgan is most likely going to have a fit about that, to the point where the beefs continue. And will Raquel defend herself? I'm sure she will. But we got to make Raquel the good guy here. We got to make Raquel the baby face, because nobody can take her serious as heel, and I can't take her serious as heel, because if you listen to her interview, she's delicate, she's bubbly, she's friendly, she's genuine. But when she's on that camera, they try to make her look like the bad guy, and it's like, no, she's not. Okay, just look at her interviews and you'll see what I'm talking about. Go listen to it. You'll see that her personality is very genuine, and she's a very friendly person, really cool, someone to hang out with, and like way much cooler than Liv Morgan. But many would disagree, but I've seen it. Trust me, I've seen it myself, and I want to spend time with Raquel. I do. Mainly because of her personality and just how friendly she is. And that's the kind of person I want to support. Someone that's real, someone that's for the people. And that's what Raquel is for. She's for the people. Versus with Liv Morgan, like I said, I can go on and on and on about it, but I'm just going to say, if you got to go out to eat with somebody and actually interact with somebody, it will have to be Raquel, because Liv Morgan just going to go on her phone all day. I'm sorry to say it. Every time I see Liv Morgan go out with people, she's always on her phone, and I don't condone that one bit. Okay, any woman that goes on her phone when we going out is a red flag. I'm sorry to say it. So I pick Raquel personally, but I do believe that if Liv Morgan put Raquel over and make her feel like the baby face, of this rivalry, I do believe that she will get her pop, and I do believe that people will side with her, and hopefully it will be a Triple H and Batista moment where Triple H is talking behind Batista's back, and Batista finds out about it. Just like with Jacob, Jacob found out Solo was talking, sneak dissing to the point where he say, "I hate you, Solo," and I don't think Raquel's gonna hate Liv Morgan, but she's definitely gonna let Liv Morgan know that, hey, I can't do this no more. I'm about to lose my job. I gotta put it on the line here. I gotta choose. It's either my job or our friendship, and I choose my job, and that's something that people should understand, especially if, she's not doing nothing but just being a partner. So this can definitely help Raquel, and this could definitely give her some bookings, but Liv Morgan has to help her with that behind the scenes. So I'm hoping with that. But as for JD, I only thing I could hope for him is that once Finn wins the belt, if he could stay long enough that he would challenge him for the belt, and then maybe Finn could put JD over, but I doubt it, just because he's supposed to get a push. So, but what he could do is get the fans to side with JD. That's the only thing he could do. But if that don't work, then JD's going to have to go independent. And, if he get it released, I wish the best for him. It's just a shame he came back from an injury and he's going through this, But hey, that's why I wish they didn't release Carlito, because then we would have had something in motion. But this is all we can do for now. So everybody just got to go solo, and that's the only way to do it. So if you want to see the Judgment Day split, we got to cause a divide. And right now, Finn is working on that. And I think Liv Morgan is probably going to work on that too. And while those two figure it out, everybody else either going to follow or they're going to lead. So whatever that can put in motion with this storyline, it better be before SummerSlam. And then hopefully after SummerSlam, we'll start to see change. And then hopefully everybody can get over this Liv and Dom shit and get over the Judgment Day. That's what I hope for. Then hopefully everybody can keep their jobs. We know Liv and Finn and Dom are going to be good, but everybody else, I'm not so sure, because Carlito is gone and now it's down to 2. So we just have to pray and hopefully that Triple H will do the right thing by everybody, will literally do right by everyone. And hopefully everyone will get their shine the way they're supposed to on their own. So y'all get in the comment box and y'all let me know what you guys think, man. Do you guys want the Judgment Day to split? I know everybody do, but still, do you want everyone to split? Do you want Liv and Raquel to split? Do you want Liv and Dom to split? Do you want Finn and JD to split? Do you want, Roxanne and Dom to get together? Do you want Rhea to get back with Dom? Do you want, what do you want? Comment down below. Let me know what you guys want out of this Judgment Day storyline, and then we'll talk about it, okay? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? I'm out.